ready.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the October 28th, 2019 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. Sean, would you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Sean. I'm Barb Lewis, President. To my left is our Vice President, Jeff Benton. To my right, fellow Commissioner Gary Merrill, our Administrator, Mike Fromer, and our Clerk, Jennifer Walraven. We can begin.
Resolution number 19-1054, in the matter of approving electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held October 24th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 19-1054. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment today, so that brings us to item number 3, resolution number 19-1055, in the matter of approving purchase orders and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 1025.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 19-1055. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1056, in the matter of accepting and approving the Delaware County Sheriff's Office Transport Report for the month of September 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 19-1056. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1057, in the matter of accepting and approving the recommendation of the Union County Board of Commissioners for the maintenance assessment of 20% for the Ottawa Run Joint County Ditch.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 19-1057. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1058, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 10-58. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1059, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 19-1059. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number -19-1060, in the matter of approving an amendment to the contract between the Pike County Board of Commissioners and the Delaware County Board of Commissioners regarding inmate housing.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion,
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Balzer, Chief Deputy with the Sheriff's Office. This would be an addition, or excuse me, a renewal of the contract with the Pike County Sheriff's Office. We currently just have one prisoner for Pike County, but this allows us to hold prisoners as needed for their agency. This would be a 2-year extension of the current contract.
What's the history been of our relationship on this issue with Pike County?
They came to us in need. About a year ago, they had a big case, and because of the type of case, they wanted to separate some of the defendants in other jails. And so they had discussions with the sheriff, and we agreed to house one of their inmates until the trial, which I expect will be probably sometime next year. But so far, it's been a good working relationship with Pike County. We've been able to help them out.
Okay, good. Glad to help.
okay, that's great. I thought that might have something to do
Yeah, I
with
figured it would as well.
that. Thank you. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-1060. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number -19061, in the matter of approving a public safety training agreement between the City of Columbus Department of Public Safety, the Delaware County Board of Commissioners, and the Delaware County Sheriff's Office for sending Delaware County Sheriff's Office cadets to the Columbus Police Department Academy.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion,
Good morning, Commissioners. John Scowden, Chief Deputy for Delaware County Sheriff's Office. We've had problems with trying to get into academies. That's one of our biggest reasons for using the Columbus Police Academy. We normally use the Ohio State Highway Patrol for our training. In my previous life, before I came to Delaware County, I used the Columbus Police Department Training Academy with several new officers, and they do a tremendous job. one of the nice things about the Columbus Police Department is they will bring some of our trainers in to help out, which defray some of the costs, which is a nice thing. If there's any questions, feel free to ask.
Okay. No, that's great. Thank you. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-1061. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1062, in the matter of approving the Fourth Amendment to the lease agreement by and between the Delaware County Board of Developmental Disabilities and the Board of County Commissioners on behalf of the Delaware County Sheriff's Office for certain real property located at 149 East Orange Road, Lewis Center, Ohio.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
We've been here before for this. Basically, what we wanted to do is combine all the leases together. We have a wonderful working relationship with the Board of Developmental Disabilities and their director, Ann Jared. They do a great job for us. As you know, we've extended our footprint down there quite a bit for a training room and different things, so it's been wonderful, wonderful working relationship. We just want to combine all the leases together.
Boy, that's great.
Yeah, this has been a very visible, very good presence in Delaware County and a great location, so
That's where
it's
most
really
of our call
synergistic.
volume is.
Yeah.
Yes,
glad to see
with
it.
call volume, right.
Yeah.
Right. That's great. I'm very much for this.
In Orange Township, because of the visibility, should be a bonus for them as well, I would think.
Yes.
Right.
Vote.
Vote on motion 19-1062. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Commissioners.
Chief.
Resolution number 19-1063, in the matter of approving a transfer of appropriations for the Delaware County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Sean Miller, Director, Delaware County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. For your consideration is a transfer of appropriations today, and this is needed after a recent retirement and the subsequent payout from that. So with that, I'd be happy to take any questions you might have.
No? Vote.
Vote on motion 19-1063. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you,
Resolution
Commissioners.
number 19-1064, in the matter of approving supplemental appropriations and transfer of funds for the Delaware County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jared Zarillo with Delaware County Board of Developmental Disabilities. I have two requests for you. One is for supplemental appropriations of $1.2 million, and the other request is to transfer that $1.2 million from our operating fund into our Medicaid reserve fund.
This is to further increase the Medicaid reserve fund as required to establish the reserves at appropriate level.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 19-1064. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jared.
Resolution number 19-1065, in the matter of approving a letter of support for the Strand Theater and Cultural Arts Association application for funding from the state of Ohio in its 2020 capital budget.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jane Hawes, Communications Director. The letter before you, request from the Strand that you help support their application. The MORPSI has sort of undertaken a process of prioritizing a lot of the projects that are out there, and then with the Columbus Partnership, they're going to, from their perspective, prioritize what they recommend to the state in terms of funding, and they've indicated that expressions of support from elected leaders in those communities would be very helpful for increasing their
Do you
chances.
anticipate some letters from some of the other organizations as well?
Senator Brenner's office has provided one. A request was put into Rick Carfagna's office. We haven't heard back from them yet. But those are the ones, that I was able to take care of or overlook or oversee.
No request from Arts Castles?
I'm sorry?
No request from Arts Castle or?
Yeah, I think Gary was asking about, have you, as Communications Director, heard from other organizations who want to do this as well?
I have not, no.
Because I know
Yeah.
there's a number of others in this county that are
Okay.
seeking that funding. So I think we want to at least keep in mind that the others should at least have an opportunity to be
Yeah,
considered.
yeah, I think I've spoken to at least three others that
Okay.
that I know are interested. And this, As we had our legislative update on Friday, they communicated that the capital budget is going to be kind of assessed and finalized in mid-December, or mid-January, and then voted on in mid-February. So
Okay.
there is some time to work with the legislative offices.
Right. I know the
as well as the
deadline
Columbus
for,
Partnership.
the deadline for this that Morpsey
November
imposed
1st.
was November 1st, so
Right.
I don't know that they could.
Yeah, we don't want to ignore this
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
but there is another channel that needs to be worked as well, and that is
Right.
directly with the legislative offices.
Yeah, okay,
So-
all right. Yeah, I know Morpsey provided the same direction to all of them,
Yeah.
so if they were on their list, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully the other organizations are working their plans as well.
Okay.
And getting their support lined up and
Yeah.
communicating it.
Okay.
Who else was interested?
Arts Castle, I know.
There was one or two others, unfortunately, off the top of my head, I don't recall who they
Yeah.
were.
Okay.
Why am I drawing it? Penn, Arts Castle, Penn.
Was Stratford included in it? I don't recall.
Stratford one on my list.
I know what Morpsey indicated, this was more sort of culture/arts
Well, Arts Castle would
projects.
certainly fit that.
Right, the Arts Council would, I'm not sure the
I'll
others.
reach out to them. That's the one I recall, but I know there's one or two others.
Yeah, yeah. Who am I thinking Strand?
We have another member that was at that meeting. Do you have recollection?
No, I just, the same thing you all just said was that it's going to become about, there's different ways in which to get the applications together and prepare. I do think you'll probably get more inquiries.
That what, I'm sorry?
You'll get more people asking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was still in its infancy.
Yeah. The zoo, I know, has received it in the past. That may be the fourth one I was thinking of.
Yeah, I think they mentioned this.
Yeah.
The Arts Castle, because it's culture related, it might be worth reaching out to Ralph Hodge, at least ask the question.
Okay, I don't know is that we could get something together, though, by the deadline for them
The
at this
deadline's
point.
You said,
Friday.
First, this Friday.
well, if we could do it, we could have it on Thursdays.
Okay. Okay.
All right, vote.
Vote on motion 19-1065. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
I'm sorry.
Mr. Merrill?
You answer for me.
I wait my turn, I apologize. You would mention my name, or did I already take that?
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
All right, you all three voted aye. Okay, let's go on to number
More than once.
14. Resolution number 19-1066, in the matter of approving addendum number 5 to the lease agreement between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and the Ohio Department of Public Safety Bureau of Motor Vehicles for the Frank B. Willis Building, Delaware Deputy Register Agency.
So moved.
Second,
Discussion.
Good morning, John Melvin, Director of Facilities, and Brad Lutz.
we're being teamed upon this morning.
Yeah, I'm just the heavy.
He was a heavy, we were able to get some adjustments made to these amendments to the lease agreement. The next two items is for the Deputy Register of the Bureau of Motor Vehicles and for the driver's exam at the Willis Building. Just as noted, just so you know, we did get a rate increase on the rent. They were paying $11.45 per square foot. For the BMV, it's $13.40 a square foot, and the driver's exam is $13.60 a square foot.
Yeah, I noticed it's 15 to 20% increases, so I think,
Yeah,
and we were lagging a bit, so I think that's appropriate to do some catch-up.
Yep, and I just looked around for available lease space around downtown, not getting too far south, given it's on the north side of Delaware, and that $12 to $14 range is pretty current marketplace.
And again, this lease is only every, what, 3
2
years?
years.
2 years, so
Right.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 19-1066. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1067, in the matter of approving addendum number 6 to the lease agreement between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and the Ohio Department of Public Safety, Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles for the Frank B. Willis Building, Delaware Drive Exam Station.
So moved.
second?
Discussion.
Per my previous comments.
Any questions? Vote.
Vote on motion 19-1067. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1068, in the matter of approving supplemental appropriations and a transfer of appropriations.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Well, there's so many here, you would think that it would be a whole lot of things happening, but really all this is supplemental appropriations and ditch funds for maintenance and repair. So really nothing out of the ordinary. Obviously, the funds are available, and the work has been completed, so obviously we're appropriating the money so we can pay the appropriate parties. And then there is a little one down there at the bottom for a special revenue fund, state victim assistance grant compensation. They're actually a little short in their payroll line, so they're supplementing appropriations to move some available monies to that payroll line item. And then they'll be moving that person to another special revenue fund so they can obviously continue to pay that person through the end of the year. But there won't be any transfer to the general fund of that employee, so.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 19-1068. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
That brings us to administrator reports.
Morning, Commissioners. Just wanted to, today, very excited, we have our 1:30 work session with the data board. The director, Denny's coming in to update us on their strategic plan. I met with him probably about a month and a half ago to kind of talk through some stuff. And, it's really exciting. It's a real key component to the community as it impacts our social services, our services to our residents, and also economic development through workforce. So just, really excited about that work session today to see what their strategic plan is all about. So I think they even have a new name. So when I say the transit board, that's not what they're called anymore. So we'll hear that, I'm sure,
Yeah.
too. So.
Okay, great. Let's, Commissioner Benton.
Oh, okay,
I got to
good.
make sure I keep this,
Yeah.
fair.
We had our legislative update Friday. Thanks to Chris Hodge for leading that discussion. The main topic was the capital budget, which we already talked about at some length, so won't really go into that anymore. We did also talk about the financial health indicators from the Auditor of State's office, and the audience was raptured, enraptured by all the detail we went into talking about all the different ratios. But anyway, we had a land bank meeting on Wednesday, and that went well. It was with John Peterson not being there for the first time, since he was the one that really created this vehicle. It was just not as good. But Doug Crew.
You did a nice job chairing the meeting.
Doug Crew stepped in, did a really nice job of moving it along. We keep moving some properties along, so I think it's accomplishing what we're after. We did our helpline tour on Wednesday, and that also went very well. It was very interesting.
You took her thunder. She has all the stuff here.
I know,
She could talk
I know.
about it, and you didn't.
It is props. So that tour was interesting. They've got a lot going on. I didn't realize they did as much prevention work. That's kind of, they've shifted from intervention at crisis to preventing the crises. And
That's a good point, because I didn't either.
yeah, I didn't realize how their focus had really changed.
Yeah.
And we did the age-friendly, we have the age-friendly event at Source Point on Tuesday to learn more about what's going on with their efforts to make the whole county just more age-friendly, for the seniors in particular. So that'll be an interesting update, see how that's coming along. We got the Orange Township Business Association meeting Wednesday morning. And then lastly, I want to congratulate Ohio State on an outstanding victory Saturday over a very highly ranked, excellent team. They beat Wisconsin handily, which was very encouraging to see. And I just want to point out that all the good schools in the top 5 won Saturday. So that's all I got.
Commissioner Merrill.
Well, and Farzan, who went to K-State, used
Yeah,
to be our
congratulations,
administrator. I did get a text from him
Oh, did you?
Saturday, so
Oh, wonderful.
there's very little to add to what's already been mentioned, but two things, actually. Tim Wilson, the new head of the Visitors Bureau, I think met with all three of us Thursday or Friday,
Yes.
whatever the day was, and In fact, I asked him to attend the legislative meeting Friday. He did.
Oh, good.
Thought it'd be good to meet some other people. I think he's going to be a great asset to the county. Comes highly recommended by another Pickaway person that we know of. And I know he's excited about the job, and I think he's going to do a great job. So I enjoyed my 20 minutes I had with him. The other thing I want to bring up is we had a copier study done, and I want to send out some kudos. First to Brad's coordination of it, to all the elected officials in our county and the directors who participated in this. From what I heard from Bob Singer, who led the project because of his expertise in this area, he was extremely complimentary of how everyone reacted in a very positive way to the concept. And basically, it's a way for us to look at our cost and make sure that we are getting maximum bang for our buck in the area of copiers. And some really good information in here. Since it's really kind of a budget-related item, I'm going to suggest that perhaps somewhere during this budget process, we find 15 minutes to maybe kind of get an update, maybe have Bob come to the meeting and kind of update us, and with your blessing, maybe direct Brad and Mike to identify when the best, most appropriate time would be.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really good idea. I think this is an interesting study that can have broader implications. You know, we just looked at copier printers, and countywide, we got all the offices to participate, which was very, very good to see. But there are certainly other areas where we can do this as well, and not just printers, copiers, and other jurisdictions that may be able to take advantage of this study and save some money as well. We would encourage that.
Yeah, I think we need to get a little clarification, but it did occur to me, BD and other similar organizations where they could participate or not if there was a countywide purchasing of this. And so there's some things that got to be worked out. I thought this was a really great roadmap, something that was well worth our investment in this project. Yeah. And I look forward to us finalize. We've talked about this for a couple of years. And to your point, purchasing is something that I think we do have opportunities that we really haven't explored
Yeah.
in a number of areas.
Yeah.
We have different contracts in different departments that expire at different times.
Right,
So
right.
it's not a matter of just picking it up and going with it right now.
And he does provide some recommendations on a date that we should
Timeline.
target and move towards, and presumably the vendors would understand that as they, I'm sure, want to bid for the county contract. So
Yeah.
anyway, so be my recommendation we do that.
No, it's a good idea
Yep.
to bring Bob in.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
I was also impressed with all that Helpline is doing, very proactive and beyond just being a place where people can call when they're in crisis. Here they're in the schools too. And again, a very proactive program there. And so Sue Hansen is also helping us on something actually that Franklin County's doing, that both Cassie Neff from the Sheriff's Department and also Diane Bricker from our reentry under our Corrections Department and myself have brought to Susan's attention. And so they're working together on putting together a guide in which would really be very helpful for those leaving jail or leaving prison as far as the services that we offer. And so it's a great partnership. We'll be working with them more on this, but Helpline really deserves just many, many thanks on how they have very proactively reached out and helped the community. And we have need for executive session.
We do. Resolution number 19-1069, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of promotion and compensation of a public employee or public official.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-1069. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye, we're now recessed into executive session.
Resolution number 19-1070, in the matter of adjourning out of executive session.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion vote?
Vote on motion 19-1070. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
And we do have a 1:30 work session, and so we will reconvene then.
All right, thank you.